From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2004, these are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, March 30th, 2016. A national group of Native Americans who are also licensed amateurs is harnessing amateur radio's power to help those living on America's tribal lands.
A plan to increase amateur radio's presence in tribal lands is the mission of the National Tribal Amateur Radio Association. Their president is Nathan Nixon, N7NAN.
Having been a licensed amateur for 22 years now and working in Indian country for the last 6 years, I can tell you that going into Indian country, there's not a lot of amateur radio operators that I've met.
Nixon says amateur radio can be a valuable resource to interconnect smaller villages. The association has 3 main goals.
To further amateur radio into Indian country by assisting with licensing classes, testing, but also if those tribal nations reach out and say, hey, we want equipment here in our emergency operations center, that's our second goal, is to assist with that. But the third goal, and I think the biggest one, is to bring the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics of amateur radio into those Indian country schools, and to show that by becoming a licensed amateur, you can do great things within the STEM fields. The example I use all the time when I'm talking to people from these different tribal schools is, look at our astronauts. Most all of them are licensed amateur radio operators. These kids from your schools could do that, and amateur radio could pave the way for that.
And the group hopes to expand.
I would like to see Antara have a footprint in all 567 tribal nations in the next 5 years.
For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
The annual Hamvention Award honorees have been announced.
Amateur of the Year winner is Joe Taylor, K1JT. Joe was first licensed in 1954. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1993 for the discovery of the first orbiting pulsar, leading to observations that established the existence of gravitational waves. After retirement, he has been busy developing and enhancing digital protocols for weak signal communication by amateur radio, including JT65 and WSPR, otherwise known as Whisper. Technical achievement goes to John S. Birmingham, W2XAB. First licensed in 1970, John has been involved with amateur repeaters for over 40 years. John is currently active in the DMR community, having published a beginner's guide and a DMR article in QST, and a contributing author in the ARRL 2016 handbook. Special Achievement Award goes to Stan Horzepa, WA1LOU. Stan is recognized for being an advocate of cutting-edge technologies that are now commonly used in amateur radio. Stan has also authored 5 books and wrote over 1,200 pieces for the ARRL and TAPR while evangelizing the use of home computers, packet radio, APRS, digital signal processing, and software-defined radio. Club of the Year winner goes to Rocky Mountain Ham Radio, N0SZ. Rocky Mountain Ham Radio is not your typical amateur radio club. The organization is based in Denver, Colorado, and offers its services to other ham radio clubs as well as Aries groups to help them be successful. Technical assistance, classroom training on a myriad of subjects, mentoring, equipment, system design, and public services are among the services provided. Being a proud member of RM Ham myself, I'd like to give the club a huge congratulations. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Amanda Alden Carrier, K1DDN.
Congratulations all around. And speaking of awards, a reminder that the nominating period for the Bill Pasternak Young Ham of the Year Award is now open. We confer this annual honor on the best of the best, a young licensed radio amateur who's used ham radio for public service, benefiting his or her community, or who has impacted technological development affecting communications in some way. For details on nomination requirements and to download an application form, visit our website, www.arnewsline.org, and click on the tab for YHOTY. Completed forms and supporting documentation should be sent to the Young Ham of the Year Award, in care of Amateur Radio Newsline, Inc., Editorial Office, Post Office Box 451, Huntington Station, New York, 11746. And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for over 37 years and counting, at www.arnewsline.org. With Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, Amanda Alden Carrier, K1DDN, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW. 73. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.